Building a colony on a planet with no oxygen, little water, and asteroids falling from the sky? What could possibly go wrong? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. With Planetbase 2 on the horizon, I decided to give the first installment in the series, Planetbase by MadrugaWorks, a go. I put just over 3 hours into this game. I definitely like builders, and we've been rolling through quite a few of them recently on Strategy for Busy People. Planetbase is definitely a form of builder for sure, but it's not exactly the city builder you might expect. Now, one thing I almost immediately noticed with Planetbase is that it has a lot of similar paradigms to Surviving Mars, which I really loved and played the crap out of over the years. You have to manage labor to a degree, and of course you need to keep things like oxygen and electricity flowing, and make sure that everyone has food. But in a weird way, Planetbase almost makes this management too simplistic, which gives the game a little bit of a soulless, boring feel. Before we get too far into it, let's begin at the beginning, which, as you might expect, has you picking a place to land on Mars, landing there, and then getting the basics rolling. As far as I can tell, this game really only features solar and wind power, and unsurprisingly, you don't get much solar power at night. Who would have thought, right? Getting the initial requirements sorted in your colony introduces you to what I found to be one of the most annoying mechanics in the game: positioning buildings. You see, you can't actually position your buildings anywhere, and just to kick you in the shins a little bit, certain buildings are required to be dead ends. It's not all that unfathomable to require that these facilities all be connected by tunnels, but the level of annoyance in placing buildings, which buildings can connect to what buildings, how many connections there can be, and so forth is annoying. And to make things worse, I got myself into a jam. You see, you have these little robot helpers that do things for you, like build buildings. And in what also shouldn't be particularly surprising, you need airlocks to let people get in and out of the overall facility. But somehow one of my stupid robots finished construction and got itself stuck inside a ring of buildings where it couldn't get out, and I didn't realize that it was stuck. So I ended up having to demolish some of my buildings to save my robot. Why did I save that little robot? Well, because constructing robots in this game is also a bit frustrating. We'll get to that. Okay, so water, oxygen, power, airlocks, annoying building connections, got it. Now, let's get our people fed. The fact that you have to construct individual types of food farms in this game, well, that might be cool in some circumstances, but in this game, it's just annoying. Because some foods produce building materials in addition to food. Is this scientifically accurate? Sure. Does it enhance gameplay? No. It's just another annoying thing to manage. And it's doubly annoying because different crops produce different things at different rates. I ended up spending a lot of time chatting with Anthropic's Claude to help me figure out just what the best makeup of crops was. Look, this is a Martian city builder. I want to spend my time managing the construction of my city and maybe some supply chain stuff, but micromanaging the differences between corn and potatoes is not exactly what I had in mind. Your people need places to sleep, so you build domes for them, and bunks. Yes, in fact, most buildings you build in this game involve you micromanaging components inside of those buildings. Build a food hall and then worry about placing televisions, drinking fountains, or food dispensing units. Build a medical facility, but then worry about building medical beds or a medical storage cabinet or whatever. Pretty much everything you do in this game involves some annoying level of micromanagement that, for me at least, sucks the fun right out of it. You're constantly fighting some problem or another. Once your base covers enough ground, you have to start worrying about how long it takes for people to get around inside of it. You have to worry about asteroids hitting it. Sure, you reach a point where you can build a landing pad and start to have additional colonists come, but not only do you have to micromanage who is working where, but there's yet another layer of micromanagement in that certain people can only do certain jobs. And importing new colonists requires you to micromanage these percentage sliders for who's going to show up on the next colony ship. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Agree with me, disagree with me, or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. Look, you might have watched most of this review thus far and said, wait, there's a lot of this that sounds like surviving Mars. And you'd be right. You have to manage individual classes of inhabitants in surviving Mars. You have to account for educating them getting old and dying, entertaining them, and so on and so forth. There's quite a lot of micro in surviving Mars, too. And if you get it wrong, you can end up with your entire colony collapsing and everyone dying. I don't know what it is about Planetbase, but somehow many of the parts are the same, but they just don't add up. On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, while there was corn, lettuce, tomatoes, and even synthetic meat, none of it was particularly delicious, and I don't think you should give this one any of your time. I really hope that they get the balance of micro to macro right in this next installment of Planetbase, because I collected my belongings, went to my ship, and got the heck off Mars. I hear there's a nice restaurant at the end of the universe.